All right, I am hoping that today is the day that little Fergie will run again. I think I have everything I need, with the exception of they did not have a rotor on hand for the distributor, but it'll be there in the morning. I can stop by and pick it up. So we're gonna try to get this together. I already put water in it. That was, I probably lost about 2 gallons or so, because I put in a gallon of antifreeze and then of course a gallon of water. So I think we're good there. We'll check it after we run it. The big thing is going to be making these gaskets so we can put our oil filter on. So that's what we'll start with right after this. Welcome back. If you haven't seen my videos before, I'm Ross the Oliver Man. However, today we are finishing up our Ferguson 30 that belongs to my uncle, that my great-grandpa bought new. Same one who bought that new. And we're going to begin by trying to make this gasket, or 2 gaskets rather, that go on here to, you know what I'm saying, oil filter adapter housing. So that's what we're going to work on. Now, I'm sure there is a very scientific method that somebody else will say, why didn't you follow? Probably like get on the internet and search harder and you could probably find some of these, but I could not. So I'm going to just make them. So I found me some gasket material that I think will play nice. Consequently, the computer rang it up at $30 for a sheet, and that is way too much. And then figured out that it was trying to charge me quantity of 10. So we fixed that problem. I don't know if I left a good enough mark on it. Maybe. Maybe if it'll stay put while I do my cutting here. I should have got a better pair of scissors. This pair has been in my pickup. I needed scissors for something and the handle's broken. And a good German doesn't throw stuff away just because it's broken. You know? Take note, ladies. When you're picking a husband, pick a German. He won't get rid of you just because you're wore out. He knows more than that. All right. I'm going to see about, well, let's see here. I wanted to see about marking the bolt holes, but I don't know. All right, now that you've drawn all over your fingers, proceed to cutting. I'll make sense of it here in a minute. This is what you might call a field repair, as we are working not on a workbench, but rather on the tractor. We're going to see what we can make happen here. I'm thinking, is that too much? I'm afraid to just go to the 3/8 bolt holes because they probably won't stay centered. So this would make room for error. Do we have that much room for error? I think we do. Get rid of that thing. And I guess get rid of our tool, because, hey, it worked. Okay. Did we get it? Pretty well. There we go. Alright. There's step 1. Step 2. Oh, that's beautiful. Step 2 is going to be carving out the holes in the gasket. And we don't need to go quite as far as I went there. I'm kind of free-handing this. But I think we can make a respectable gasket here if we just don't let the mosquitoes bother us, because they seem to be continuously buzzing down here. And that's a bunch of baloney, because we got things to do, mosquitoes. We don't have time to be pestered. Okay, now, if you're not too smart like me, there we go. I'm going to take this. I'm going to punch one there. There. Basically, we're going to dismount all of the fasteners that we're laying here on our floorboard. Would probably make more sense to do this on the ground, but this is at working height. Come on. Let's put these away before we lose them. We'll need this again in a minute, but this will get us started with what we're trying to accomplish here. See? We can use the bolt holes. We can use the bolt hole to make us wish we had a better pair of scissors. All right. Alright, that ain't a bad looking gasket. Let's see how it fits our affair. Oh yeah. I think we can live with that. Let's just do the sadness one step at a time. And we'll go ahead and mount this up there. This gasket material actually has a sticky side to it. Those mosquitoes are going to get too greedy here, trying to chew on me. And they're all going to get killed if they had just known to leave me alone. You don't poke the bear. Alright. I am really hoping that, and I don't think that it would, because why would it, but one of the silly things that popped into my brain while I was doing this is, I hope that the thickness of the gasket doesn't affect like the oil pressure. But these old engines are more of like a bypass filtration, I think, a lot of times, so basically it's not really going to make much difference. It's just got to not leak. Jeez, there is... Okay. I'd say what affects the oil pressure on this more than anything is the fact that the exhaust is right next to this oil filter. So your oil has to be getting cooked the longer you run the tractor. I mean, that's kind of... Come on, Harry. You should have known better than that, buddy. Although this is a Continental engine, so... You know, maybe it was a adaptation of something they already made. There we go. I like that. I think it is much more better than it was. Now, I'm going to start the procedure over with this can. Now for this, you know, I try to save as much gasket material as possible, but it was bought for this project, so we'll do the best we can, you know. Ha! Can! Nope. There we go. See if we can draw the inner. Did I move it? No. Let's see if we can draw the... This is taking a lot of self-control because I'm getting chewed on by those skeeters. So I have to be super duper steady-handed. Alright, I think we got a shape we can live with there. Looks kind of like it, don't it? There we go. Now, these are not 3/8, but I don't know, maybe a guy ought to use the 7/16 one anyway. I got we'll try it with the smaller one on this one. Boy, if I didn't shake bad, why am I shaking? You would think that this gasket was a beautiful woman, the way I'm shaking. Sure. Okay, I'm gonna just hack out some of this. Did we get it? Or enough room that we can get the scissors in? I think we did. That's what I was after. Alright. There. Let's see how we did. Oh. I think we can live with that. Looks like a pretty good one. But this ring goes inside here. And in theory, it'd be easier to get it started in the right neighborhood. Oh, brother. There. I just realized something. Anybody want to guess what I learned? That was probably super important. It would have been much easier to assemble that can while it was on the ground. So I could have stood it up. But now I get to work twice as hard. All because I know nothing. So let's crawl to the ground. Let's see what we can accomplish. Oh man, that is sadness in there. Okay, we got one. If we can get one, the rest will follow. We got over here a filter. Canister type with handle. Make sure you put the handle towards you. I'm not saying it would fit the other way, but some people, I think, could figure out a way to make that happen. Oh, come on. There. Now, does this have any kind of lid or anything? Gasket? Yes, it does. Alright. Got a piece of rubber in there. And you know what? We're going to know. We'll know if it's leaking. Because it will make a mess. But there we go. Again, 11/16. Factory wrench. Sure. Didn't have it seated right, I guess. Well, we're making progress, however slow. I think we'll cook with that. We'll see how bad we destroyed it later. You know, when all of our oil pours out to the ground. That's when you know you did a good job. Now a wise thing to do before we do the wires and all that is to, you know what I'm saying? Oil. I also realized I forgot spark plugs, but that's okay. You know, we'll get it. The grass hasn't been really growing that bad right now anyway, so. But I want to put this oil in before I forget and then don't get it put in and then lock up the motor, which would be sad. We don't want stupidity like that. Little feller's a pretty fast drinker. He brought me 2 gallons, so I'm going to assume that it holds like 5 to 6 quarts. But we'll soon know. We are in the lower part of what it says safe operating range. So we are going to add some more. Like I said, I bet when we're said and done, it's going to be around 6 quarts would be my venture to guess. Of course, if we make a mess of everything, it's probably going to take this whole jug because we're too lazy to go get a funnel. Let's stop with that. Double check and see what we got. Now, pretty sure we got to wipe it off because I'd say while the oil's going down there, it hits the dipstick on the way down. Now we are at the full mark. Pino, if we were working on an Italian tractor. So we're going to leave that as such. And she's full of oil now. So now we're going to play Distributor Sadness. Where should we start? Where should we start on Distributor Sadness? Well, here's the thing. Like I said, I didn't forget, I just didn't have the rotor. And then the next affair is points and condenser. And that's where we'll start. And then we'll start with cap. And then we'll start with, okay, let's do this. If we take this loose, I can tuck this out of the way. Then you can see good, see? And if we do this right, we should put it on the high point first. Oh. Come on. Come on. Aw, I missed it. Shouldn't miss it. Oh no, I didn't miss it. It's coming up on it. There we go. There. Okay, that's about the gap we need. So that's what we're going to use. Now, can we get this in here? Or do we have to actually go get a wrench? I just hate it when you got to actually get the right tools. It's much more better when you can just fudge along life's way. I bet we can get this out of there. I wonder how long it's been since it's had points. I'll have to ask him. These could have been in here a long time. But they're getting kind of, they're getting film on them. Corrosive. And this is the cheapo set of points I don't like. So, will this be the size? Yeah, they didn't leave you much of any room to get that out of there. They left enough room for you to regret your life's choices, but not enough. Yeah, it just is playing with me. It looks like it's turning, but it's not. Probably if I'd used an actual ignition wrench that was thin-walled, I wouldn't have these problems. But that would require me to go get more tools. And I think we got enough tools out. Sick of getting all the tools out all the time. And I could just not get the tools out. Yeah, okay, there's a good example of why it's time. Look at how burnt those are. Can you see that? They are very much ready to go. Which, it was running fine. I mean, there's no reason to argue that point. I agree, it was running fine, but I just think that it's time. I mean, nothing lasts forever. All right, camera too hot. It likes to play that game for some reason here lately. Oh, why are we doing that? We brought the tools, I forgot. We got a wrench for this. We just need to tighten her up. Now obviously we can't get that out, right? Because that would be what we want. And we don't do what we want. There we go. Good gap. With any luck, it'll run worse than it did before, because wouldn't that make sense, you know? We'll have to reuse this for tonight to hear it run, because I don't have the new one. But that's cool. We can make that. We can live with that. it's not hard to get to. But our next thing we need is the cap. And it has a cutout in it, so you can't screw that up. Which now takes us back to where we were yesterday, which was right in this neighborhood here. We were putting wires on like such. So number one wire is the one on the side of the clip here. And we're going to get our package of stuff back out again, because we put that all away. Step one, boot installation. Oh, come on. Keep sliding. And yep. I did remember to bring the other pair of pliers today. It has the nice spark plugger crimper. So that'll go in there. And then this will go down on there. Alright. No need to let you watch me reinvent the wheel. I'll bring you back when it's time to run it. Alright, we're ready to test run. Before I put this wrench back, I did want to point out, I did kind of know it, but this is also your fuel gauge. You see, it's got inch marks and stuff on it, I guess, so you can tell how much fuel you had. So we'll put it back and try to start the tractor. Alright, I think we have everything that we need, except for now, for some reason. What's happening? Oh, I'd moved the battery slightly, I guess, while I... Okay, battery's connected. All the stuff is off of the flat surface, also known as the tractor. This says it takes 2 full turns. So that'd be 1. That's about 2. Okay, Harry, do your stuff. Of course it won't start right while we're doing this. And it's got a spring choke, so... Oh, geez, I bet we're going to be taking it apart again. Now, instead of having no governor, it shoves it wide open immediately. Why would it be doing that? Okay. It seems like it's trying to push it, but it's not pushing it enough. Oh, jeez. Well, that kind of ticks me off because has stuff that would make it work better. Well, that really is awful. I had this trouble once on an 8-in Ford. We put a brand new governor in it, and it was junk out of the box. And I'm wondering if I got the same type of issue here, because that's ridiculous. It ain't even trying to move it. It is a little bit. There you can see it starts twitching when it's wide open, but that's way too fast. Maybe my governor linkage needs totally readjusted. Okay, let's shut her down. Well, to say I'm frustrated is the least of it. That is totally ridiculous. That brand new parts, that's all the better they work. However, what I'm also wondering is, we need to check and make sure that this is really adjusted correctly, because it may not be. Maybe something with the new governor was out of whack with the old governor. Okay. If it is all the way wide open, which would be this way right here, then the governor link should be half a hole off or so. But it would need to be half a hole too long, right? I'm thinking about this, and it's different on this one than it is on the Oliver's. Not really, but in the method that it's adjustable. It's messing with my brain. So we may try to adjust it first before we tear her all down again. But I'm afraid that that's where we're going to be headed, because there's just not... There should be more governor action than that. It should right away, when you start it up, it should shove it to idle. And we don't have that. We have a little twitching when it starts getting way out of hand, but it's already way out of hand. So that's the only thing that tells me that possibly adjusting our linkage would help us. Boys, I am not a happy guy, I'll tell you that. That was a lot of work for nothing. So I suppose that we'll just have to leave it here on this one, and I'll see what we find out in the next one, because I did not expect to be doing this twice, but here we are. As always, if you enjoy my videos, give them a thumbs up. Leave a comment and tell me how dumb you think I am, or if by some slim chance you liked it, say that. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.